Well, hello everybody, and I hope this video finds you well. Today I want to bring you a video of a very important topic. You probably heard some people talk about less is more. I actually tend to agree to that. Oftentimes you see a lot of stocks moving. You're trying to jump in every single one of them, but if you really think about it and you do your homework and you have a trade plan and you stick to the patterns that actually yield good results to you, you're gonna find that focusing on less names, less stocks will actually yield better returns to you than chasing every single name that is running out there. It's like, I like to make the analogy as a police officer out there in the parkway, seeing all of these cars flying around, but the officer needs to have a reason to pull one over. And so until you find that reason to get behind that one, don't chase any names. Less is more. You're not going to try to pull over everybody driving out there. And so the reason why I want to bring you this video is to show you how you can trade with lower risk. There's always going to be some sort of risk involved in a trade, but if you can recognize decent spots where you can get in, well, then your trades are going to yield better results, having lower risk in every single one of those entries. We're gonna go into SPWR to show you here how to use prior support, resistance, and the VWAP to give you low risk trades, and how you can use and utilize those spots to get decent entries with lower risk. Although again, it's always going to be a certain level of risk involved, but doing this will allow you to do so, to trade with lower risk. Okay, so we're gonna see SPWR today started to ramp up right out of the gates, giving us a little bit of a consolidation period here, showing signs of strength over the VWAP during the pre-market hours, giving us a little bit of a bull flag formation here. Now, what I want you to think about is, I didn't get in the first 1 to 2 minutes of this trade. This is the front side of the move here. When you see a stock moving right out of the gates, there are times that you might think you want to chase them, and if you fall into FOMO and you start chasing, chances are you're gonna get a wrong entry. So what I would like you to do will be to try to let it go and wait for a pullback if you're trying to go long, or if you're shorting a stock, let it come down and try to find the first micro bounce, or a 1 minute to 2 minute bounce, maybe a flag formation where you can get in. Now the same token here, you can see here on the 1 minute time frame, this is a lesson that I'm trying to teach you guys here. I have a bunch of lessons in the lessons tab or lessons channel in the Trace Colony private trading group. If you would like to get access to that, go to trailscolony.com and get all access and all of the premium content you will find there. So you will look for the first pullback to try to get a decent entry into this name. See here how it starts to consolidate around a daily level, $15, 1464, pardon me here. We're talking about the first 15-minute candle here. $14.64. Pulling back from this high by a penny, 2 pennies actually. 62. We had a 64 here, pulls back and comes towards the VWAP. You can assume that if you're going long and stock pulls back towards the VWAP, the spot is going to trade. Most of the time it does. The second time, sometimes it does not hold. Sometimes it does the second time, sometimes it doesn't hold the third time. But you can assume and take a measured risk into the trade, assuming that it will hold and that it will reverse right back from that spot. So looking at the VWAP, volume weighted average price, is a tool that is used by institutions. Is a average price that is traded in regards to the volume at any certain moment. Okay, I'm just trying to simplify it. And so you can see a comment towards the VWAP at 1429. We got a low here, 1432. You can see here how it starts to hold, and you can put an entry here and a stop under the VWAP just in case it doesn't hold. You can go to the low of this candle here, 1422, or just under the VWAP in case it doesn't hold. Sometimes it dips a little bit for 1-2 cents and then comes right back up, but you can put a stop under the VWAP. Look at here how we held, come right back up to have a retest here, and then pulls back, giving you a flag formation here because the bullish trend is still in play here. So it gives you a flag formation on the 1 minute and starts to break here over the 1458. You got 1457 by 1 penny here. This one broke towards the new higher day. So you can also get a low risk entry here when it starts to break this flag formation towards a higher day, pushing to make new highs. Look at how it comes up here, pulls back and finds support around the VWAP for the second time, and it starts to bring you right back up again. Okay, so we're gonna show you here. I try to make a intraday line for the higher days and support and resistance intraday, and I put the trend lines here yellow to differentiate from a daily support resistance trend line that I have set, so I know what levels I'm looking for every time the price range or every time the price action gets closer to those areas. So I can anticipate and starts to look at the tape to see if it gets a little heavy, if this demand is in a spot, if there's being a lot of supply, if a price is being sponged up at a certain level. So those are the things that I look for. As you can notice here, we found support on top of the VWAP. It starts to push up again here, breaking with a flag formation here on the 5 and keeps on pushing up. Okay, so now it starts to consolidate here. 1521 will be a key level on the 1 minute. I will show you right here. I saw it coming down. I took a short trade here looking for a retest of the VWAP. Now it did not work in the way that I wanted. 1512 was actually pretty strong. It's the 1514 here and 1512 here. It started to get a lot of supply, or actually a lot of demand there, and I will show you here how it pushed up, but come up, and this is the level that I put here for the area congestion back here at 1521, yellow trend line, so I can remember when the price gets here, this is where I'm gonna set a entry. Okay, so it held, and as I mentioned, I was looking for this short. I shorted 1515, and I was putting a stop on top of 1521, and I wrote it on the chat room, letting people know. As it starts to break on top of the area of my risk, I stepped out. I lost $17 on that trade. I only had a starter there for that short because I wanted to see if that was going to work or not. So I went in with about 250 shares, something around there. So second time starts to consolidate here, comes up, retest, hovers on top of the prior 1521, it starts to come down, give us a ascending channel pattern here, and it starts to hold again around the 1512 spot. So this zone down here starts to get a lot of demand there. And look at the 5 minutes here, prior low 1512, and 1512 starts getting really heavy here with a lot of demand. And look at how in the 1 5-minute candle it pushes from 515 to 535 and comes right back up to the next daily level that we have here. Okay, so around the daily level, prints another flag and dips below it, gets on top, support again 1557, starts to consolidate around this spot, comes up. So here's what I want to show you here. Hanging man formation of the 5, and here's also a way not to anticipate the move, but again, not trying to get on the front side of the move, but looking for a little bit of a slowdown so you can get in a low risk area. I didn't see it when it was printing and reversing from here, but I saw the flag formation. It starts to come down and then consolidate, and I wrote it on the chat when it started to consolidate around the 1557 daily spot. Look at how it starts to flag around here, consolidates, and in 1 second it flushes down and comes towards the prior area. Again, same thing. You can see here, you can inspect the VWAP will hold. It dipped for a little bit, 1514, but you can inspect the VWAP area to hold, comes up, retest the prior area. Look at here, and I don't want you to pay attention to this exact spot here because we have a crossover in the moving averages, and I'm not trying to give you a lesson about moving averages here, but we have the shooting star formation in the 5 minutes right here where we have a crossover and resistance right here. So but this is sometimes things that really happen. I've seen this happen so many times when the price comes up, retests the daily level, gets on top, it doesn't reject, it gets on top or sometimes at the bottom, it hovers around it and then comes back in the other way. So it snaps in the other way. Look at how here rejects the spot, comes up, hovers around it. We have again a crossover here in the moving averages for resistance and shooting star on the 1, but it comes down and dips again under the 1557, comes down and retests the 1521 right there, low 1521, comes up, get that bounce, micro bounce on the 1, comes down, dips again, and comes out to retest. Look at how here 1521, this area congestion back here is a key area here now because it comes down and it found support there. When it dips again, this is now an area of resistance because we can find there the 1521 high prior support becoming resistance and dipping under it, hovers around the same spot, and here he holds and consolidates around it. Now at that spot I didn't want to chase it no more, but here's what it did here in the 1 minute, showing the 5 minute. We have a hanging man of the 5, shooting star on the 1, coming down, test of the prior support here, dipping, coming down towards the VWAP, right back to the bounce. Look at how it comes right back to 1561, very close to the area. 1563 again. We cannot trade by the penny because by the penny, numbers by the penny, they're not absolute spots. We see sometimes support and resistance around the numbers. Sometimes, yes, by the pennies, sometimes it does work. As you've seen here, prior support becomes resistance and all that kind of stuff. Prior retest, couple of retest spots in the same levels, but again, those areas are not absolute, so you can't really trade them expecting to hold and get out exactly at the same spot. So if you're gonna take an entry or an exit, you can try to do that in 1, 2, 3, 4 cents prior to the spots, because those areas are not going to be absolute. Okay, but here's a flush retest of the VWAP, coming right back up to prior resistance, which was support here, and now it rejects the area, comes right back down to reject again. And looking to the prior spot, we can see an area of congestion here. We can set a trend line there. We can see the low 1493 and 1495, 1498, 1499, and we can see a 1498 here, 1491, 1495. We're gonna put the trend line here. You can see the areas are not, again, not absolute, but you can see the prior area of congestion here, exactly retesting here to have a reversal, exactly the same way that it worked back here on the 1 minute time frame, where we have the congestion area at this 1521 right at this spot here. Let me just bring it over a little bit, see if we can show it to you. 1521 right here. Okay, so area congestion right there. And again, on the beginning of the day, what you have here is the push up towards the daily spot, reversal, rejecting the resistance, coming towards the VWAP, pushing up, reversal flag, and pushing through the higher day. So now I just wanted to show you a lesson here on how you can use key areas of support and resistance using key daily levels, okay, and also areas of congestion intraday, and also the VWAP, to get a low risk entry, either going long or short. And for this, I showed you SPWR today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time, and I hope this video has given you any sort of help in any way. Take care. I'll see you next time.